ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
John, you got me, buddy?
I got you, buddy. You got me?
I got you. I can't see you, but I got you.
Yeah, we got some technical difficulties, but we can get the show started. Before we jump into it, today's show is brought to you by Ensemble Co-working, Fort Worth Hub for private offices, co-working, meeting space, and virtual mail. Find your perfect workspace at ensemblecoworking.com. And as always, thank you to Miss Tiff, our producer. She's fantastic. We love you.
Yes, ma'am.
And we will forgive you, even though you're a Yankee fan. This week, the show title's DFW Triple Threat. We're going to talk the Streaking Stars. They're on a 4-game win streak. They've got a playoff showdown going on with Miss Tiff's Wild. Are the Rangers surging? They kind of got shut down a little bit last night, but Jeff Springs is off to a hot start this season.
Yeah, good pitcher.
Draft day's looming. Will the Cowboys move up, trade back, or stand pat? Plus college baseball and more. So let's start with some quick hitters. I guess the biggest story that we're talking about right now, it's sports related. Man, there's a story out there about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini
of the
Athletic. Well, this thing got leaked that apparently both Coach Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini, who are both married.
I'm sure it's love, though, John. I'm sure it's love.
Sure it is. It has nothing to do with getting the inside scoop or anything like that. Vrabel has grown children with his wife. They've been married since he was a player for the Patriots.
It's been a minute.
I didn't like Rossini. And mind you, I used to think very highly of Vrabel. I'm a very loyal person. Now that this has come out, I think he's a complete dipshit. Rossini, and part of the reason I didn't like Rossini, she's publicly bashed her husband on many shows, talking, I mean, just various things, multiple times. And now it appears as though she's having an affair. That's the only way you can put this. The thing about it, when we talk about this, Vrabel came in trying to repair the image of New England, and he's repairing the the culture there. And this is going the opposite direction of what he's claiming to do for New England and its culture.
As a player, you got to be thinking, if he'll do this to his wife, somebody he supposedly loves, what's he going to do? What would he do to me?
Sure. And
so, be hard to trust that.
You can tell, and the NFL as a whole, they don't comment on stuff like this. It's their policy. They didn't talk about Robert Kraft when there was stuff going on with the massage parlors. When there was stuff going on with Jerry Jones with the illegitimate kids and all that stuff, they didn't talk about. That's their policy. I knew when this came out, Rossini was going to go down in flames. And then, the biggest question, me as a Texas fan, there was a story that came out early in the season last year that Sarkisian was going to leave and be he was a candidate for the Tennessee Titans job, and it set the college football world on fire. And it started a proverbial shitstorm for Texas athletics. And I did not like that.
Nope.
It was complete hogwash, clearly, and that kind of just shows you her journalistic integrity.
Well, I do hate the fact that this is there's only one person really going to be punished here.
Oh yeah, that's the real tragedy here. Like, I don't feel bad for her that she got caught. I feel bad that she's going to be the only one punished. They should both be punished, clearly. But she's going to be the one that goes down because she's not protected by the NFL. If New England comes back and they stink it up this year, then yeah, maybe, right? But he's going to get another year because he's a Patriots legend, and he's going to get it. But
anyway,
I will say this: they say the Dallas media is soft on Jerry Jones. They have said absolutely jack squat to him about this since this has come out 2 weeks ago,
and they won't, won't. Because the Boston media, up there, they're going to protect their guy.
They're supposed to be tough. They're not. They're tough on everybody but their own. And so whenever they talk about Boston strong, I don't want to hear it. They're full of crap. To hell with them. They're massholes. So
yeah. All right, let's go on. Let's talk about something more.
Yeah. Dexter Lawrence demands a trade. He signed a $90 million extension in 2023. I'm guessing he doesn't like old Harbaugh. Maybe it's because he's actually got a coach with a spine now, maybe, possibly. I don't know. Rory McIlroy wins his second Master back-to-back.
He did hold off a late charge from one Mr. Scotty Scheffler.
Who is that? Who is Scotty Scheffler?
He is the number one ranked player in the world still.
That is right.
And he is a former Longhorn. So, but Scotty got himself back into contention on Saturday with a 7 under 65.
That's pretty damn amazing in Augusta.
That was amazing, and he still had a couple more shots on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still could have done a little bit better, but I mean, 75. You're not gonna throw a rock at that. He was right there. He was right there at the end.
If he starts off a little better, he probably wins that.
He wins.
I mean, don't take anything away from Rory.
No. Roy, he earned it. It took him to the last hole, though. That was not secured until that last hole.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
If you're not going to win, make that guy in front of you sweat a little bit.
Absolutely. We'll jump into some a couple of other things before we jump into some Texas quick hitters. Major League power hitting is surging according to Major League numbers. That was just a little factoid that I saw. So that's pretty interesting.
We don't have a lot of
it. yeah, right. WNBA Dallas Wings take Azzi Fudd, number one over.
Yes, sir. Miss Azzi Fudd.
Now, before we jump into the rest of this, she is dating current Wings star Paige Beckers.
And last year's number one pick also.
Yeah. So Dallas was in a bad way. Get in line. with the other
Are they the
basketball.
first? Are they the first couple to ever be drafted number one?
I would say so.
I would probably guess that. Yes.
I would say so. They're not the first couple to play on the same team. I guess apparently this is a very, very common theme.
Yes.
There are lots of couples that play together in the WNBA.
Yeah.
But it is she was the best player in the WNBA. She was the projected number one pick. I don't think that's going to scare anybody away.
That's debatable. Some people I've heard things that did they take the actual best player, or did they do this for Paige? Or I would say that it's regardless. AZ Fudd's a really good player, is a great player, and I think you're going to be just fine there.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've watched next to no WNBA basketball. I can name two players, and we both know who they are: Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. So I don't know anything else about the WNBA. I'm just going to be honest with you. I had to throw that in there because I'm a Dallas guy, and she's the number one pick, and I had to throw it in there. So
I have to at least pay attention to it a little bit because I have. As you know, my oldest is a hell of a basketball coach, and she's
absolutely
she's all about that. So anyway.
Absolutely, I'm going to pay a little bit closer attention because I've started watching college women's basketball a little more closely with Vic Schaefer at Texas and the resurgence of Texas women's basketball. He's putting young ladies in the WNBA, so I'm going to pay a little more closer attention. So
there you go.
So with that, Texas basketball, men's basketball lands a few transfer portal additions. The first being Mr. Isaiah Johnson, a point guard, was a freshman at Colorado last year. He averaged 16.9 points a game, 2.9 rebounds, and 3 assists as a freshman at Colorado. And then they added Mr. David Punch, a power forward from TCU. He averaged 14 points a game, 6.8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.9 blocks a game at TCU. Simeon Wilcher transfers to Seton Hall. I think we all knew that was coming. He just didn't get the minutes, and it didn't the game didn't transfer over as he transferred over from, was it St. John's, I believe it was, that he came over. He didn't have as big an impact as we thought he would on the rotation. Muschamp, man. He came out and spoke with the media. This is kind of a big change for Sark. He's letting the coaches talk a lot more to the media this year, which is kind of a change from the old Saban mentality where Saban kind of controlled everything. He talked for everybody. And I think that's showing the confidence that he has in the program. He's not having to babysit both the offense and the defense this year.
He is not.
And the biggest thing was this Muschamp, the shirt that he was wearing, the NP. NT equals NP, which is no thug equals no play.
Me and you on the same page, brother. I was thinking to bring that up.
He also in this same media session stressed he has no desire to be a head coach again, which is great for us as Texas fans. I love it. He did it from 2011 to 2014 at Florida, didn't end well, and then again from 2016 to 2020 at South Carolina. He got fired, and he was dubbed the head coach in waiting under Mac Brown before he left to take that head coaching job at Florida. So we are so glad to have him back. Heard great things about the defense while he's there.
Let me say something.
Yeah.
I also very, very happy to have Blake Gideon back on the 40, former Longhorn safety, now coach in the secondary. Very happy to have Blake Gideon back.
Absolutely. Blake Gideon's a beast. Didn't realize how big of a lot of people didn't realize how big of an impact he was on the secondary until he was gone. Not saying that the guys that we had in that coaching room weren't an impact, but they were not as significant of an impact as Blake Gideon was. So don't have a whole lot to talk about in regards to Texas baseball because it was putrid this weekend. The Goobs got the best of us on Friday night. It was a pretty good game Friday night. It featured 6 lead changes. Ruger struggled again. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, had 2 base on balls. Hayden LaFew let us down. He walked 3, directly leading to 2 earned runs. Brett Crosland walked 2, gave up an earned run, and then Max Grubbs gave up an earned run. We tried to rally late. We were down 3 runs going into the 9th inning. We got back-to-back home runs from Aiden Robbins and Anthony Pack, which made the game 9-8. And then they ended up pulling it out, ended up losing 9-8. Saturday was an absolute train wreck.
Yeah, I saw a few minutes. I saw first part of that game, and I was like, I can't keep watching this. This hurts my heart too much.
Dude, the SEC should be burned at the stake for that. That game should have been pushed off until 4:00 with the storm cells that were coming in. They should have never started that game at 2. They should have waited till the storms passed and played that game at 4. I'm not saying that Texas doesn't lose that game, but it's not a freaking 9-run win or whatever it was.
That was disgusting. Yeah.
Basically, Texas came out and they were up 1-0, and then they got out quickly, and then they walked a couple guys, and then the bottom fell out. They had an hour and 38-minute rain delay. And then they brought Harrison back out and basically walked the bases loaded, gave up a double, ended up being 8-1 after the first inning. He threw 44 pitches in that first inning and still wasn't out of that inning. And I'm not one to make excuses. The strike zone was wildly inconsistent. He should have been out of the inning. There was a strike that was not called that directly resulted in 6 runs earned for Texas A&M in that inning. It should have been a strikeout out of the game or out of that inning. Who knows what happens if that's closer. But some things to talk about after the loss. Aiden Robbins homered in 4 of his 6 at-bats. And he was absolutely on fire. Tenney looked good at the plate. Casey Borba, man, he struck out 7 times in the series. 7 times. That's inexcusable. That's
pretty terrible.
He needs to straighten that out this weekend. Last night they played A&M Corpus Christi. They started Michael Winter. He's a freshman from I think he's from Overland Park, Kansas. He had pitched a little bit this season, pitched well. He got sick, and I don't know what it was, but he was out for about a month. I think he pitched an inning in the Aggie series, but he started the game last night. He basically walked the bases loaded, gave up a couple hits, he walked 2, gave up a couple hits, gave up a couple earned runs, and after 20 pitches, they pulled him. So at one point, we were down 5-0 after 1 inning to A&M Corpus Christi. It was like, man, did A&M break us? Is the way that it looked. Long story short, Texas ended up winning 14-7. Just too much for them to handle. Some series results over the weekend. Arkansas sweeps. Number 22 Arkansas sweeps number 8 Bama. Florida takes a series from number 4 Georgia. Tennessee sweeps number 9 Mississippi State. So that's 6 SEC losses in a row from Mississippi State. So they were a top 5 team, and they're now out of the top 12, I believe. Auburn takes a series from Kentucky. Ole Miss sweeps LSU. OU took the series from Vandy. Kansas swept number 12 UCF. Kansas is now ranked, by the way. Georgia Georgia Tech, number 3, Georgia Tech sweeps Florida State. And USC pitcher Mason Edwards has a 1.35 ERA and leads the country with 95 strikeouts. He struck out 16 on Saturday.
Nice.
That was against Iowa. Some midweek upsets. UCLA lost again. They lost their 3rd game of the season to UC Santa Barbara last night, 5-3. USC, number 12 USC loses to Long Beach State 5-3. OU loses to Oklahoma State 7-3. Number 7 Coastal Carolina loses to Wake Forest 10-5. Virginia loses to Virginia Commonwealth University 6-2. And number 21 UCF loses to Jacksonville 5-4. And then Florida, number 20 Florida loses to Bethune-Cookman 13-7. 13-7 loss for Bethune-Cookman. Listen, one thing I will say, and you can attest to this being a baseball lover, baseball is a weird sport, man. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. Texas A&M kicked Texas's ass this weekend, right?
Yep.
I think, and they only played 2 games because Sunday they got rained out. If anyone gets on Twitter or if you get on Facebook, a lot of people that get on Facebook and watch or in these SEC groups or whatever, a lot of those people are idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. But you get on there, a lot of them, they just troll is basically what I'm saying. There are some people on there that know what they're talking about, but a lot of them just get on there to talk trash. They'll tell you that Texas ran from Texas A&M that series. No, it's a rule that you have to play your game before 10 o'clock, or they've got to cancel the series. That's basically the way that it goes. It wasn't the rain, it was the lightning. Was the reason that they could not get that game in on Sunday. Texas wanted to play that game. They wanted something to take away from that series. They wanted Dylan Volantis to shove the ball for sure. They did not get to pitch their best pitchers, right? They did not let they didn't get Dylan Volantis. They didn't let Sam Cozart pitch. They wanted a shot at redemption. They didn't get it. Bama getting a sweep by Arkansas, right? Bama has pitched and played very well up until this point in the season. Florida State has been a power this season. They got swept by Georgia Tech. Auburn has been up and down this season. It just goes like UCLA last night lost to UC Santa Barbara. And I think UC Santa Barbara is a 500 team.
Those old gauchos.
Those gauchos, they'll get you. The gambling gauchos will get you.
The gauchos.
We got some gauchos in West Texas here, man.
We got a few of them.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get you every time. That's the way baseball is, man. Like these midweek games, it's frustrating to watch. Texas go down 5-0, and you're like, dude, it's A&M Corpus Christi. I get it. It's frustrating to watch, but man. That's part of it. That's part of baseball. You're going to lose games you shouldn't lose. You should not fret. You should not, you should not take solace in the fact that inevitably you're going to lose games.
John, can you hear me?
I can hear you. There's just
just want to make sure.
There's some feedback.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here,
but there are some concerns. That a lot of people were upset with the bullpen for Texas, but it's yep, we got each other. Yep. There are some concerns with the bullpen. There have been all year. At times, my problem is. I don't think that Texas is aggressive enough early in the count. A lot of times they will let a fastball right down the pipe just go. And I think that's the approach of other teams. They're just going to fire a fastball right down the pipe to get up early in the count. and they know that we're not going to swing because that's the approach that we like to take. If there is a fastball center cut right down the pipe and you are batting 300, you need to swing at that, especially if you're struggling, right? If they're picking apart the zone, if they're, if they're throwing inside, throwing outside, if it's right down the pipe, you need to swing away, dude. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care what your approach is. If you're struggling late in the game, if it's right down the pipe, swing. It's what you got to do. But that's Schlossnagel's approach is patience, work the counts, walk, and get timely hits. It's worked for him. He's one of the most successful coaches in baseball. I don't agree with it all the time, but it's worked for him. It didn't work this weekend, unfortunately. I think Texas, they hit 7 home runs. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. At times the offense looks like it struggles, and at other times it looks like the pitching has struggled. I don't agree with the offensive approach at times, and other times I just think college umpires are terrible. It's part of it.
I'm not sure what's going on with my headphones here, but
I can hear you. I can hear you clear.
I don't know. I hear a little feedback, but I don't know how to fix that.
It's not exactly feedback. It just sounds like there's it just sounds like white noise, like some static kind of. But it's not bad.
I hear it, but I don't know anything. I don't know how to do anything about it. So anyway, it's just. Sorry, I'm lost for a second. I was trying to get my mic fixed. I kind of lost.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You see teams like, and I had the stats pulled up. Texas actually out hit A&M. They hit more home runs. I think A&M only hit like 2 or 3 home runs on the weekend.
Our pitching staff, it just was. I mean, our offense was fine. It just we couldn't stop them to save our life. They barreled up a lot of balls. It wasn't like there was a lot of fluke hits. There was solid contact in there from what I saw, man. A lot of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, A&M's not a bad team. As much as we don't like them,
they're a great team. They're a great offensive team. I hate giving them compliments. I really do. But they're a solid offensive team. What I thought was we'd get to their bullpen and we would get to their pitching, and we kind of did. We didn't really get to their bullpen like I thought we would, but we really did get to their pitching. And man, I really think that this, we'll get more into that when we get back.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Today's show is brought to you by Ensemble Co-working, Fort Worth's hub for private offices, co-working, meeting space, and virtual mail. Find your perfect workspace at ensemblecoworking.com. We've had some technical difficulties with the storms blowing into the Metroplex, so apologies for delays and all that other stuff. No worries. Miss Tiff is working on it the best she can, so we appreciate everything you're doing for us, Tiff. No worries. So, I mean, we've talked plenty about Texas baseball and A&M getting the best of us. I will leave it at, great. You won one. Hang your banner. Print your cups. Let's see what you do when it's time to win for real. We know what's going to happen. That's all I got to say. Let's get into some Rangers baseball and some draft talk, and then we can talk some Dallas Stars at the end. Oh, I can't hear you, Bill.
Sorry about that. We had the mic muted. This is my first time, apparently. It's been a bit of a mixed bag this year. It's been up and down. It scares me, John, because like I said before, it seems a lot like the last couple of years. Pitching's been great, except we don't have a closer. Junis has been doing all right, but the pitching staff's been great. We're fourth in the league in team ERA right now.
Yeah.
But we've had a couple of good games offense wise, but it's not been consistent. John, we've got one guy hitting over 300, and that's Brandon Nimmo. We've only got three. We've only got three other guys even hitting over 200.
Yeah.
Your all-star, your captain, your team leader, Corey Seager's only hitting $197 right now, man.
Oof. So it's gone down since the last time I saw.
I mean, Josh Young's credit, he's been on the way up because he started off like the first little bit of the season. He had like a .96 batting average, and he's up to 245, which is third on the team. So he's been doing a lot better.
Yeah, he's been putting in work. Yeah.
But I will say this: we did win the Marcus Semien trade because he's been awful, just like a lot of the players on the Mets have. He's been very awful. So, but they're 9-8. They're in first place in the division. They're they have the same record as the A's, but somehow we're in first. Angels are right there at 500, and the Astros have been god awful. Excuse me. They have been god awful. Thank God. Somehow they are managing to be second in the league in runs scored, but leading their pitching staff is giving up the most runs in the league. So their window has closed. I'm not going to say they're completely dead because there's a lot of talent there still, but those guys are getting old. I guess they didn't think that they were going to really miss Fromber being gone, but their pitching has been atrocious this year.
At one point, I saw they'd lost 7 in a row. Is that right?
That was 8 llast I heard.
Oh, so they ended up losing to Colorado the other night.
Yeah, and they won last night. So it broke that streak. But
Yeah.
It's just they've been bad, and that doesn't hurt my heart at all because you know we don't have good feelings about that team.
Nope.
But man, it's just the inconsistency of this team. You never know what you're going to get from night to night.
Yeah.
And your offense has got to pick it up some.
Just a
Jeffrey
little
Springs,
bit.
granted, Jeffrey Springs, he's a good pitcher. He really is. He's off to a great start, and he shut you down last night. But you gotta have more than one guy, not necessarily more than one guy hitting over 300. You got to have more than 4 guys hitting over 200.
Yeah.
It's you don't your offense doesn't have to be you don't have to be world beaters with this pitching staff. Just be average.
Yeah.
Just be average and hit when it counts.
Can I say something? And,
yeah, man.
And this is just I know that we've had this conversation multiple times between you, myself, and Charles.
Yeah.
Get Jock Peterson off this team.
It's oof.
I know he had a couple hits there in 3 games. I think he had 3 hits, which is great for him.
For him,
but,
yeah, right now.
But dude, like I don't even know what to say. Like it baffles me that the guy makes $20 million a year and he just can't figure it. And I know it's not about how far you hit the ball, it's about how hard you hit the ball. And he has the hardest hit balls on the team and blah blah. I don't care about that. He doesn't hit the ball. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
So I mean,
and that's all he's paid to do.
That's
all he's paid to do.
You don't have to play defense.
He can't play the field anymore at all. And so that's all he's paid to do is hit the ball.
Yeah.
I had higher hopes coming into the year. He looked like he was in good shape. He looked like he'd been working on it, but then he comes back out and it's the same stuff.
Same
from
Jock.
last year.
Same Jock Peterson.
They're wasting money.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm a little here's another guy that I've been kind of disappointed with this season, which I didn't think I would be. I was expecting a big season. Wyatt Langford. I need more out of him. You know, he's got all the tools. He's got the power. He's got the speed, the bat speed, you know, the on-base speed. He's got the arm. He's got the fielding ability. You know, he's like a young Mike Trout. Like that's who he comps to.
Yeah. Did we put too much on him too soon, John?
No.
I kind of feel like the expectations on this kid were, you know, he was already going to be Mike Trout. There ain't a lot of those dudes out there. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think so. I mean, when you think about it from this perspective, right? Did we put too much on Joey Gallo too soon? No, because it took him 4 years to get to the majors, and then he was gone in 2. You know, like we had to slow play Joey Gallo getting here, and when he got here, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
Well, same with Profar.
Profar is the same, and there were I forget who it was that tried to trade us all of King Midas's silver for Profar, and we said, nah, we're good. Man, going back now,
prospect in baseball at one point, man.
Yeah, we should have done it, man. I don't care who it was. We should have done it.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there, man. It's just it's like I said, it's been a mixed bag, and they're in first place right now. They're in this first part of the season, man, and I've told you this. They're playing a lot of good teams. This first part of the season, if they can get out of here at 500 or a little above, I'll be okay. But I believe this team is capable of more. But we need a closer, and we need to hit better. Period.
Yeah, I agree.
Those are the things.
If they're playing 500 ball around the deadline, I think they go out and get a closer. You know, I don't see. I mean, there's no way Jock Peterson's on this team next season.
No, he's only got a 2-year contract. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, there's no way he's in the league next year.
I would be shocked.
You know, maybe he gets a training camp invite or something like that, a spring practice invite. You know, another thing too, man. Let Andrew McCutchen play more. Right? Like,
I'm with you.
Like, dude, Jock Peterson's been assing it up long enough.
Yeah.
Let Andrew, I don't care if he's just in there to hit against lefties. let him play against righties because he can't be worse than Jock Peterson. There's no way.
I mean, he is hitting the ball hard. I saw one of the balls he hit last night. It took an incredible play by Jacob Wilson over there at short to just barely nip the old man at first base.
Yeah,
but he's hitting the ball hard. He's still got some left in the tank. So
I saw something the other day. The Chicago White Sox lineup, their batting averages.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about atrocious?
Oh yeah.
I think they had one player batting over 200.
Yeah,
and it was, I want to say it was Colson Montgomery was batting 204.
Maybe, and I'm not sure. I know the Japanese guy that they signed, the Japanese player they signed in the offseason, he's got big power, but
he does
got big swing and miss too.
Yeah,
he's the Adam
young
of the
kid
Japanese
too.
league apparently.
Yeah, well,
one true outcome, baby.
Well, I know that I have a lot more faith in this team this year than I did last year for whatever reason. And it's still early. We're 15 games into the season, 16, 17 games into the season. They're playing competitive games. I don't feel like they're totally out of it. They have fight, Brendan Nimmo, man, love the dude. Such a good guy.
I'm a fan.
Jake Berger, he looks like a different player this year. He
he's
had some stuff going on last year. Love the dude. Love him personally. He's a good guy, right?
Yeah.
He had some stuff going on last year. Josh Young, sometimes he looks like he's on a different planet. I don't know what's going on with him, but I like the guy personally. Mm-hmm. I love Corey Seager, right? He's the reason we won a World Series, right?
Yeah.
Wyatt Langford, he's super young, super talented. You got to, the law of averages say he's going to figure it out.
There's talent there, man. Period.
Yeah.
Young talent, old talent. There's talent there.
There is. So
they've just got to hit better.
So survey says they're gonna get it right. So
I think
let's jump in some stars and then we will wrap up with some NFL draft talk. How's that sound?
I'm so ready for the draft, Betty. I know you are too.
Okay, so we'll touch on the stars real quick, just 2 minutes. All right. So the stars are winners of 4 in a row, right? They had a come from behind win last Thursday against their first round playoff foe, Minnesota. They're set to wrap up tonight against Buffalo, who was a surprise. I don't think anyone picked them to win the Atlantic.
No, Buffalo back in the playoffs for the first time in a long time.
They clinched the Atlantic. They won the freaking
Atlantic. Kudos to Buffalo, man. Congratulations.
Kudos to them.
And
I don't think anyone saw the Florida Panthers missing the playoffs.
Shocking.
Edmonton's
happy.
Yeah, and it's not even close. They were
they were bad.
Way bad. They 39 wins bad.
They were bad.
That's really all I got about that. The playoffs are set to begin this weekend, 4/18.
It's a monster, man. The Western Conference is a monster.
It's such a murder. The first 2 rounds are such a murderer's row. It's going to be the old South Park episode where Randy gets beat up and he's like, I didn't hear a bell, and he's all swollen and beat up,
Best 3 teams in the league are probably in the same division with Colorado, us, and Minnesota.
Exactly.
And we play one of the other best teams in the league. And for a reward, if we win this series, we'll get to play, I don't know, Edmonton, Vegas, another team that's just about as good as we are.
And it's probably gonna go 14 games for both series.
Most likely. Yeah.
Just off the cuff. So real quick, NHL draft. It's June 26th, June 27th. The projected top 3 teams, the Canucks, the Blackhawks, and the Rangers, they do a lottery just like we do. Or like we do, just like the NBA and the NFL. The projected number 1 pick is actually an American kid. It's a kid from Penn State, a forward named Gavin McKenna.
I'll be honest with you, I don't watch a lot of college hockey.
There's not a whole lot of it on. I saw some college hockey. I saw the I guess it's the playoffs, and I watched. I think it was Western Michigan and whoever the hell else they were playing. And I watched like 5 minutes of it because I was waiting for a baseball game to come on. And I was just like, wow, maybe it was Minnesota State or something like that.
Hey, man, a lot of good hockey up there.
Yeah, I mean, it was hockey. So guys are a lot smaller. They're not as fast as the pros are. You can tell a difference. But apparently the kid, he chose to, instead of going to play in the Canadian minor hockey leagues or whatever they're called, he decided to go play college hockey because it's a better, I guess there's more talent there, just to prove that he could do it. So in regular 5-on-5s, he scored 9 goals, 18 assists. He had 1 3-on-3 goal. And in power plays, he had 21 points, 5 goals, and 16 assists. But he chose to go play college and play against better athletes, and apparently he excelled. So he's probably going to be a Canuck. And I haven't done a whole lot of research, but the top 3 are supposed to be the Canucks, the Blackhawks, and the Rangers, telling me that the Blackhawks are inevitably going to be really, really good with the last 5, 6, 7 years of having a top 5 pick.
Oh yeah,
they're going to be good again. It's just a matter of time. They're doing it the right way, which is what the Stars did for a decade after Madonna. They sucked wind for 10, 12 years, and then we see where they're at. They're on a generational run at this point.
Fact.
So anyways, let's get into some NFL talk for the last 10, 12 minutes of the show.
I will tell you this, John, my opinion, where there is smoke, there is not always fire. It very well may be the case here, but I have what we're all hearing is, everybody knows Dallas is going to move up. Dallas is going to move up. That's what we're hearing. I don't know if that is that 100% the case, bud. I really don't, because I mean, honestly, I think that could very well be a smokescreen that they're trying to throw up,
trying to get people to freak out and do the wrong thing.
Jump ahead of them and miss something. Or, dude, the only player conceivably for me that I would move up for is, and you can get mad at me or you can chastise me or whatever, but the only player that I would even remotely want to move up for would be Sonny Styles.
100% agree.
He is a fantastic football player. He gives you, as a linebacker, he gives you all 3 phases. He started out his college career as a safety, played safety for a couple of years at Ohio State before they moved him to linebacker. So he can cover. He knows the nuances of that. He can cover. He's a very smart football player. He is excellent against the run, and he is a really good blitzer. So he's going to help. He would help them in many ways.
So have you heard the scenario that's been floated out there? And I had to write this down because I heard it and I knew you've probably heard this. So
is this the Cleveland scenario?
The Cleveland scenario where So for those of you who don't know, there is a chart, a value chart in regards to what you have to give up to move where.
For each of the picks in the NFL,
So essentially what Dallas would do is they would trade pick 12 and pick 20 to Cleveland for pick 6 and pick 39.
Yep.
And they would get essentially Sonny Styles, right?
Yep.
In my opinion, you do that all day long and twice on Sunday because you're guaranteed to get if you get Sonny Styles, right? So if you get to pick 5 and Sonny Styles on the board and Cleveland's down to do that, you do that trade, you get your 2nd round pick because the reasoning behind that, the guy that you were going to get at 20 isn't that far off from the guy that you were going to get at 39 anyway. So you could probably, if you're getting Sonny Styles, you can still get your safety from, or not your safety, but your corner in the 2nd round, your South Carolina kid.
He's Kilgore's a safety. The corner that I'm in love with right now, honestly, the cornerback that I really want is a kid named Chris Johnson from San Diego State.
That's who I was talking about, San Diego State.
He is an exceptional football player.
So he's probably there at 39. So if you do this and you get Sonny Styles and the San Diego State kid, that's a win all day. And then in the third round, you get your pass rusher, right? You get your Malachi Johnson or Lawrence. Is it Malachi?
I don't. You're not. I love Malachi Lawrence, but I don't know that he's going to make it out of the top, 55, 60 picks. Kid's very talented. I've seen a lot of mocks with T.J. Parker from the defensive end from Clemson, and no offense to him, he's a fine football player, but I'm not in on that guy. I don't love it.
Yeah, I don't love Clemson football players right now.
One of their offensive tackles is fine, and I do like Jeremiah Trotter. I am a fan of his. That kid is a good linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I wouldn't be mad at all.
We were talking about Avian Terrell at one point, and you remember I told you I was like, man, I don't like that.
He's a little on the small side for me. He's a talented kid, but I'm hearing rumors that they love the Pons kid, the Pons kid from Indiana.
Yeah,
but he's all of about 5'9" and about 180 pounds.
But he is a football player.
Oh, he is 100% a football player. But I think you're gonna have some size limitations. They're gonna come into play there.
Yeah.
With the size and the speed of these NFL wide receivers now, I don't want to go that small for that high a draft pick.
I agree. I agree.
But
and
you're telling me I get out of the top 40 picks with Sonny Styles and Chris Johnson, I'm very happy.
So let me ask you a question, right? Hypothetically, these smoke and mirrors that they're and you think this is a smoke screen. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think, right? I'm starting to think that they really do want to move up for the right player. I don't think they want to move up to 3. I think that's way too much to give up.
I'm afraid they're not trying to get to David Bailey or Reuben Bain.
That's too rich. That's too rich.
I don't. Bailey's to me he's a one trick pony. He's not. Yes. He's okay against the run. He's a great pass rusher.
Yeah,
probably the best pure pass rusher in the draft.
Yeah,
but to me, he doesn't do enough other stuff. One of the reasons I like Styles is because he can help you in so many areas.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now, if the Giants, I don't know if the Giants are interested in Styles. If they want Caleb Downs, the Giants are picking at 5, and I don't want to make that trade. If we're going to make that trade, I don't want to make that till we're on the clock because I don't want to get up there and the Giants take Sonny Styles at 5, and then what did I move up for?
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't want to do that. But me, this whole time I'm trade down guy.
Yeah.
Acquire as many picks as you can.
Sure.
There's guys in that second round, early third round that I absolutely love that I think are going to be damn good football players. Like the Kilgore kid you were talking about, the safety from South Carolina. I'm a big fan of that kid.
The other thing you got to think about here too, right? If you get to 12, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Let's say you get to 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think is it Washington that's at 7?
Washington's at 7.
I don't think there's a possibility that Styles goes past he gets past 7.
I really don't.
If he's there, DQ's taking Styles. There's no doubt in my mind he's taking Styles.
Although if Caleb Downs is still there, that wouldn't surprise me either. But he's not. I don't think Styles is going to make it past 7. He's too good a football player. And John, but you tell me, look at this opposite scenario here, John. If they don't move up, if somebody's trying to come up to 12, if you can tell me if the other scenario number 2, if you can tell me that I end up out of the first 50 picks that I end up with somebody say like C.J. Allen, the linebacker from Georgia, Chris Johnson, the corner for San Diego State, and Malachi Lawrence, the edge from UCF, I'm also not going to be upset. Because I think all 3 do I think that any of those players are the caliber of Sonny Styles? I do not. But I think that all of those pieces can be excellent contributors to a really good defense.
The more I think about it, the more I don't want C.J. Allen.
Really?
would you
rather have J-Rod?
Yeah, in the second round. Yeah. Hang on. I would rather have J-Rod at 20.
Okay, how about this? Do you think that he's a hell of a football player? Don't get me wrong, and I'm gonna rep that. I'm gonna be proud of that dude because you know where he's from.
Mm-hmm.
Where's he from, John?
He's from Wichita Falls.
He's from the Falls, baby, where I'm from. So that's He went to the wrong high school, but that's fine. That's another story. But he does have some athletic limitations.
Okay.
There are some. Would I be upset if they drafted him? No, I wouldn't, because I think he's a hell of a football player. I do worry about some of the athletic limitations showing up when you get to that next level. But he's a guy that's always around the football. He reminds me a lot of Zach Thomas, a little bit more athletic Zach Thomas, actually. Zach Thomas was pretty damn good. And granted, it's another Texas Tech linebacker. That's not why I'm making that comparison.
No, not at all.
But
you know what did it for me?
What was it?
Luke Kuechly said he thought that he was the best linebacker in the draft.
He thought who was the best linebacker in the draft? Rodriguez? Well, I mean, I don't want to. I'm not going to argue that. He's a Hall of Famer, so
I'm like, and his measurables and his combine scores and his arm length, like he's identical to Luke Kuechly, and we know what Luke Kuechly was.
Wow, that's big. That's big. Big comparison there, bud.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you watch the film, like, right? He's not like, you compare him to CJ Allen, right? CJ Allen looks like the better athlete, you know.
Yeah.
But how many times have you seen what looks like the better athlete not pan out?
I'll tell you one of the reasons I did like CJ Styles, and that's not CJ Styles. I like CJ Allen is because knowing that as complex a defense as Kirby Smart runs at Georgia, he's been calling the defensive signals there for a couple of years now, and that's, to me, that means a lot. It means you got a smart football player.
Yeah,
so, but I see where your point. I see where your point is. That's one of the reasons I like.
He's also had injuries too, man. Like,
yeah,
it scares me being a Cowboy fan drafting a linebacker with injuries for obvious reasons.
So those three. How about this? How about if you end up with Rodriguez, Johnson, and Lawrence within the top 50 picks? Are you upset?
I'd be. Let me put it this: I'd be content.
Yes,
I'd be happy with Sonny Styles.
Oh yeah, you give me Sonny Styles and Chris Johnson, and get your other players later. Yeah.
Or somehow you escape with Dylan Thieneman.
Maybe we'll have a lot more draft talk next week, folks. We'll be on the eve of the draft.
Yep. Welcome.
Venus and Grandview to Godly. This is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and